From the News Channel 5 Network, this is MorningLine.
Good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining us on MorningLine. Nick Barris here on a Monday. Great show on tap this morning. A lot to talk about. We'll open up the phone lines for you. If you want to join in the conversation with our guest, our regular guest, Davidson County Sheriff Darren Hall. Good morning to you.
Morning, Nick.
I'm glad he came now because as soon as he leaves here, he's going to go to the Battle of the Badges over there. And I think it's over there at the football stadium, right?
Yeah.
I'm glad you came here first because he faints at the sight of needles. And if he lost some blood, I'm afraid he'd get lightheaded on set. Don't worry about it. It's not bad. It's a tiny little needle, Sheriff, and it's not going to hurt your arm. Your son's going to give blood. I mean, what? It's just a small little needle. Look, you're a big guy. Why do you worry about it?
See, you're starting off wrong. I mean, that's not true.
Getting off on the wrong foot.
I'm going to give blood. Matter of fact, I'm going to give blood twice, or this double dip thing they call it.
How's that work? You're going to give twice, and then you're going to go home and have a glass of wine for dinner?
Well, I don't know about that.
Just hit you, man.
We're trying to beat the police, and winning's important, and we're going to do everything we can to do that.
You're not saying you can give 2 pints today. You
no,
can't do that.
I think it's what they call reds. They take it out, and they can actually
spin it. You're going to give plasma light.
Right. Take it twice.
Wow.
So, and then
tell people what that's all about. It's Battle of the Badges, and I think it's underway now, is it not?
It is 7 o'clock this morning till 4 this afternoon over at Nissan Stadium. You can come and give blood for the Red Cross. It has become the largest, my understanding is the largest donor event for the Red Cross in Middle Tennessee.
That's awesome.
It's been a huge deal, and really we have a lot of fun. Historically, it's been us and the police and the fire department compete to see who can donate the most blood. By the way, we've won every year but one.
I was going to ask. Okay.
We lost back in 2012. We fell asleep, I guess, and didn't keep up with it all. But
I was going to ask who's won.
But you know, it's and by the way, just we're only about half as large as they are, so we keep winning.
I was going to ask in terms of how many people. Really?
Yeah,
nice.
We do a lot of, and we work really hard at it. We have a really good organization in our agency about it. But you know, it's really about giving back to the community. Obviously, that goes to help the Middle Tennessee area of the Red Cross. But this year feels a little different. I really mean that. I mean, I remember saying and feeling this way back when the Orlando thing happened, because we were getting these calls, you know, for the need for blood, and obviously in that area. And who would have known that becomes almost an afterthought? Now the Dallas situation, and now Baton Rouge, and quite frankly, we had a Michigan shooting of 2 deputies just a few days before that. So it's just become for law enforcement, I think, the need and the crisis. Who would have ever thought that maybe we're talking about this blood given by law enforcement may be needed by it? I hope not, but it's just becoming such a different climate. But still, it's a lot of fun. It starts this morning, and
it's not just law enforcement.
No.
Can talk about people can just show up, and what's it going to be like?
Please come over. 7 to 4.
Over right afterwards.
As soon as we leave here, there's folks over there. They've got it set up where it's really quick. I think 15 or 20 minutes. You get a T-shirt, and then they register you for tickets to Titans games and the bowl games and Predator games, and it's a lot of fun. Have some players over there. The Titans are behind it, and yeah, you can come down there. You get to mark which agency you want your blood to go to from a competition standpoint.
You can do that too.
And they keep a tally all day, and at 4 o'clock this afternoon they'll announce the winner, and we've got some tricks up our sleeve.
So you can bring friends and family, which is why your son is here. He's sitting in the wings.
Yeah, I think that's the least he can do. He's a college student, and what it's costing to go to college, he can at least give blood. And but we're anyone. I'd love to see some folks come out. We have a lot of fun. It's a really good day, and this was planned obviously a year ago, really. And but with all the events going on, and just it's kind of funny. I was at home, I don't know, 3 or 4 nights ago, and I got this random phone call at the house, and answered it, and it was the Red Cross, and they were encouraging me to get out and give blood, and you know, going through the whole spill, and said we have this big drive. So they're doing on the phones. We're doing some mailings, and if you're just out and about, literally, it wouldn't take you 20 minutes to jump off the interstate. You know, the unique part of giving blood is the type of blood you have really is important, and a lot of folks don't even know what type they have. So you come in, and I'm A negative, for example. That blood can be used, I understand, by anyone, but I can only take it from A negative people.
You're a universal donor, which is your blood is really the most valuable.
It can be used universally. So, but I didn't understand that when I started in this years ago, and so I think you know, and there's other types obviously that have unique features, but it's real important, and this is fascinating to me. We have a person who's just a total health nut in our agency. He's a really good guy, and he's behind. He's been pushing this for years. But there's a lot of research now that says when you give blood, that it may help your whole overall blood circulation system because it doesn't stale.
I think it actually is good for you if you do it once. Now, I don't do it. It's been a while since I have, and I should do it more often. But I think too, you can get in there and out pretty quick.
Right.
I mean, it's not if you're not giving plasma, which takes a little longer, which you'll be doing, but you can get in there, out in less than an hour.
If you give yours to somebody else, our blood's pretty clean and good. The stuff we use. So
Metro PD is getting my blood.
Well,
if I
good.
head over there.
I hope they claim it. They're going to need it, and we probably would do better just keeping ours pure.
Listen, you're coming at this time, you're absolutely right. And that's one of the things. And we'll open up the phone line, 737-7587. A lot I want to talk to you about. But have you had any conversations with your deputies, the ones that are out serving warrants and are out doing things in the community about, or have they come to you? Just at this point, if you're a police officer anywhere in this country, it's almost as though you have to be looking over your shoulder. I mean, because of what we've seen in a sequence of days here.
Yeah, Nick, I'll tell you what, I was thinking last night and this morning about, of course, we lost an officer in a very similar situation back in 1995. He was ambushed while serving
I remember that.
Yeah, not in the same climate of the country, but as far as the ambush situation. And just a week ago, I think it was last Tuesday, we had two officers going to serve an eviction notice, knocking on the door, and when they knocked on the door of this house right out here in town, the individual said, "I'm not coming out, and you're not leaving unless we all go in body bags," and that was a quote. And so that starts about a 6-hour standoff. You have SWAT involved, our staff involved. And literally, not to say you would have ever taken that lightly, but with today's climate, it just escalates everybody.
Yeah, because you'll have situations like that come up periodically. Serving warrants is one of the most dangerous things anyone in law enforcement does. But now, not even responding to a call like that, they could be going to a call or going to try to maintain order at a peaceful protest, like we saw in Dallas, and then have some lunatic decide to take shots. That's what's so scary right now.
Yeah, I think about the Baton Rouge folks and just the way just the energy level. I mean, keep in mind what they've been through as a community, and again, you got some tragedy on all sides down there, but just the sheer wear and tear of that event. And then here we are on a Sunday morning at 8:40ish in the morning, and you would imagine what the officers were thinking. That's not the most high-profile time to be on your toes, so to speak, but it surely represents what's going on. And I met with our warrant officers last week.
So what do you tell them? What's your message right now? Because they've got to be concerned. Their families probably are concerned. They're completely innocent. They could be out there doing anything, and you wonder. Yeah,
I told them my job is to get you the tools, the training that you need. And I spoke to them about sensitivity and issues culturally.
Sure.
And I had just met with a group, local group here, a Muslim association, and just they're wanting to reach out and help and talk about cultural awareness. And I was talking to them about, we do as a society need to stop a little bit and think about, what are the needs and issues that may or may not be the way we've always thought about it. And I explained to them that my job is to get you the tools and training needed to make you as safe as possible. And part of that is to give you some information, whether it's intelligence about some of the threats that are going on. There was a lot of conversation about some threats over this past weekend nationally in law enforcement. And so I think that's part of it, but I also told them that we need to be aware of what's going on. That means, there are cameras.
Do they do anything differently? Are they going to do anything differently now than they did 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks ago? Because I think in New York or some of the other cities are saying certain officers are no longer going out alone on certain calls that they would have sometimes gone alone. And now they're going in tandem everywhere. I forget where I saw it. It may have been New York. But I'm just wondering, tangibly, I'm assuming they were always trying to be very safe, okay? But have you asked them to do anything differently in recent weeks?
I think the pressure is going to be, I really do, in a lot of cities, including Nashville, to move into a two-tandem type of idea. There are probably more reasons than one. I'm not sure, this is just my belief, that there's safety in it, but there's also some liability issues. Who else witnessed? What did you see? Cameras are great, but they're not everywhere. When you have two officers involved with situations, I think it helps you to be able to not only protect people, but to give a valid account of what happens. Everything is not videoed. And so I think there's going to be pressure both from the law enforcement side that wants the safety aspect, But I think in general it's going to be tough, Nick. I mean, who is going to want to go in this line of work in the next 10 years if we don't find a way to make it safe and quite frankly to recruit really good people into it? And I see it as trying to find that balance for all of us. And the community, if it doesn't believe in law enforcement, it's not going to support it with the taxes and the money. And so we've got to get the confidence, if you will, of the community, all the while support the people who are doing their job. 98% of police officers do fantastic work every day in this country, whoever they are. There are bad police officers, there are bad journalists and bad sheriffs and bad doctors and lawyers. I do think sometimes because of the level of position that they hold, it amplifies, and obviously it attracts a lot of attention, and we need to be mindful of that. You take that responsibility when you come on. I always say welcome to the headlines, one of the first conversations we have. But on the other hand, I think this community and this nation has got to find some respect for the position in which they're in, and we got to get a compromise. We have both sides in the room to talk through it and to come to a better place. It's just not a good, comfortable feeling for anybody. I don't care what side you're on. I don't care what the situation is. And I was driving in this morning and literally at a red light over here off 8th Avenue, and just sitting there waiting on the red light to change, and there were 4 police cars, lights, and flying through the red light, and motorcycles, and I had this. And I don't know that I've ever felt that before.
What, just concern for them?
Yeah. Well, I just hope it's not that.
Oh, right.
That we've got something going on. Now, granted,
first thing that goes through your mind when you see that right now. And that's listen, we'll take a break on that. You may have questions, comments. Fill up the lines if you'd like, 737-7587. Several other things I want to touch bases with you on when we get back as well. Lots to talk about. So stay with us. More with Davidson County Sheriff Darren Hall right after this. Stay with us.